Hello, my name is Holly Cassidy, also known as Hannah Mary McKinnon, and today I have the great pleasure of reading a little bit from my latest Christmas romantic comedy called The Christmas Countdown. There we go, there it is. That book is out now. So I'm going to read a little bit from chapter 1 and then I'm going to answer a question for you. So stay tuned for that, okay? Chapter 1, here we go. This is Saturday, December 1. Bright stars twinkled in the cloudless sky above, making me instinctively tuck my chin deep into the soft woolen folds of my scarf. I eased my Ford Fiesta into the parking spot behind the 3-story red brick Victorian where I lived with my sister and cut the engine, looking forward to getting back upstairs. I'd only left my snuggly cocoon an hour ago to pick up takeout and groceries, and although it was a quick drive from the store to our place off Bloomfield Avenue in the centre of Fallbrook, my fingers had gone numb from the cold. Having arrived in town at the end of March this year, I wasn't quite accustomed to the freeze-your-buns-off winter temperatures in upstate New York. If this Saturday, the first day of December, was anything to go by, it would soon feel like I'd chosen to relocate my life to a freezer. Earlier today, my sister had reminded me she was going out for dinner this evening. I'd already decided that once she'd left, I'd head to my cosy bedroom with its teal feature wall and floating shelf filled with my trio of vibrant green succulents. I'd get comfy, listen to my latest chill-out playlist and continue working on my 3D jigsaw puzzle of the RMS Titanic, a Valentine's Day gift from my now ex-boyfriend Oliver, which I hadn't been able to bring myself to touch for months. More recent hindsight had made me wonder if the replica of the ill-fated ship had been a subliminal message on his behalf, considering how our relationship had hit its own proverbial iceberg not long after. We'd been a couple for a decade, ever since I was in 11th grade and Oliver in 12th. Both of us had grown up in Pineville, Virginia, a quaint little sleeper town an 8-hour drive away, and we'd moved to Fallbrook together following his promotion and transfer to the city. Fallbrook was a pretty place, with a population of around 50,000 and a cool vibe coming from the vast number of students at the local college. I'd loved my new home, had arrived full of excitement and high hopes, with big dreams for our future, ready to continue building our life together. Getting a job at the same company where Oliver worked had seemed like a fantastic idea too. But 4 weeks later, my world had imploded when I was gently but unequivocally dumped. Oliver had sat me down in our newly rented apartment one evening and calmly confessed he'd slowly but surely fallen out of love with me over the past year. "Why did you want me to come to Fallbrook with you?" I'd sobbed as he'd whipped out a strategically placed box of tissues from underneath the sofa. "I quit my job. I moved my life for us, for the future we'd always talked about since we were kids." "I thought the change would help," he said. "I'm sorry, Callie, really I am. I was hoping I'd feel different here, but I don't. Please believe me when I say I never meant to hurt you." I thought he'd change his mind. Hoped this was a blip and nothing more. But the next blow was him saying he had feelings for someone else. He'd assured me nothing had happened between them yet, and the implication of that last word had felt like 100 shards of glass ripping through my heart. Thankfully, my sister had already lived in town for a few years, having attended university here and snagging a great local job a week after graduation. When I'd called Anita, she'd not only offered me her spare bedroom, but also both shoulders to cry on. I didn't need to rely on her as often these days. The 7 months since the breakup had given me distance and time to acknowledge my post-Oliver life, but this year had left me emotionally raw and bruised. No surprise, then, that my typically unshakable festive spirit had all but disappeared. As far as I was concerned, I wanted nothing to do with Christmas this time around. In fact, I was actively willing the season to pass. that was a little bit of the first chapter of the Christmas Countdown, which is out now. In terms of the inspiration of the book, you'll see in the book it actually features a advent calendar, very special task and treats advent calendar that Anita makes for Callie to get her out of, being down in the dumps, basically. And that inspiration came from a calendar I used to make first for my husband, not to get him out of the dumps, but actually as an advent calendar. And then for my kids, where I would put little tasks and treats, little notes in these little bags with Halloween candy, and I would give them those on the 1st of December. And the treats were things like, getting me to make them a hot chocolate, or reading 2 bedtime stories with Dad, or staying up a little bit later. And the tasks were things like emptying the dishwasher or laying the table. Things that didn't cost basically any money in the lead up to Christmas, because they were going to get loot anyway. So there you have it, a little bit of the Christmas Countdown and the inspiration behind it, which was pulled from a very personal thing that I used to make for my family. I hope you enjoyed the read, and I hope you're intrigued enough to pick up the book. And whenever you're catching this video, I guess the only thing that is left to say is happy holidays.